And it's 8:30. It's time for our high beam. We're talking about the Cleveland Clinic Union Hospital with their director of communication, Darrin Lautenschleger, good friend. Hey, Darrin, good morning. How are you, man?
Good morning, Brad. I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, good. I got out of the rain pretty quickly, so that was probably a good thing.
That'll be a challenge all day, it looks like.
It sure will. Hey, you work for Cleveland Clinic Union Hospital, director of communications, and we had a community relations, I'm sorry, and we had a conversation, I don't know, 2 months ago about the spiking COVID and all the problems that was causing. Fortunately, today, we can talk about being on the other side of that a good bit, right?
Yes, we can. We're real happy about that right now. So, at the end of December and early January, we were seeing nearly 50 patients a day who were inpatients in the hospital with COVID, and that's not even counting the number of folks who came through the emergency center, first care, and were seen at our doctor's offices as well. Today, in the past week, we're seeing inpatients between 4 and 7 daily. Significant decrease. The ICU is now back to its normal capacity and normal numbers that we're used to. And we're hopeful that we're entering a new phase where we're seeing COVID kind of sit at bay for quite a while. That's also allowed, Brad, for our visitation to be updated, and we now allow all inpatients, including those who may have COVID, to have 2 visitors per day.
Well, that's so important for people's mental health, too.
It's huge. All the studies have shown and that throughout COVID and with the inability of folks to be able to see their loved ones, it was very harsh on not only the patient, the family, and the caregivers here at the hospital as well.
You guys did some adjusting and tweaking and this and that to try to speed up this process as far as seeing more patients doing more things, didn't you?
Yes, we did. COVID threw all kinds of challenges at hospitals and other healthcare locations, and one thing we found was that wait times in the emergency center were taking longer than normal. And of course, there were more people there, but there were other factors involved in that. And the throughput, or the amount of time that patients were spending even when they went back to a treatment room, was significantly longer than usual. And there were a number of adjustments made. We had different departments starting to talk to each other about how they could make some adjustments to handle patients. And I'm really pleased that we've seen a dramatic decrease in wait times and the throughput, or the time that patients are here from the time they hit the door until they leave, maybe with the meds they need or whatever they need, or if they needed to have to go to a higher level of care, that's taken care of.
I'm sure, when this started, we were unfamiliar, all the extra precautions and everything that were needed. So this is a streamlining process, which I guess will probably help us down the road, right?
Yes, it will. It'll definitely help down the road. And I don't think it ever ends either.
No.
I think it's a constantly ongoing situation. One of the things that our new chief medical officer, I say he's new, he's been here almost a year, but Dr. Cody Turner, who has some Tuscarawas County roots. His wife is a physician. She's also a graduate of Claymont High School, Kincaid. Dr. Turner started to get our different departments together and start to talk to each other about all of the patients and all the things they were seeing, and it all interrelates, and the next thing you know, they've set some thoughts and some strategies to streamline the whole process.
Well, never anything wrong with that kind of progress, for sure.
There's definitely not, especially when it comes to healthcare, and that's one thing that I know a lot of people dread when they start to think about, I have to take my loved one or somebody to the ER or to first care. Mm-hmm. And how long am I going to have to wait? and so, yes, we did have to address that, and it is important.
This is Darrin Lautenschleger, the Director of Community Relations. By the way, that was a very good impression of everybody.
Yeah. So. Can you tell I've said that a couple times myself?
Okay. Go into personal experience. Anything else we needed to talk about in that particular vein? Because then I do want to ask about the blood screening.
Sure. Just one more thing, and that is, over the last 2 years, we're almost our own worst enemies in healthcare. And I say that tongue-in-cheek because we told people, you stay home, stay safe. And now we're starting to emerge from this Omicron variant, and we're starting to get out again. And we need to remind people that you probably, many of us, did not keep up with our normal healthcare appointments, screenings, and normal types of foundational health items, seeing our family doctor. So, we need to get back to care. make that appointment. Go see your doctor. Talk about what's been happening. Do your tests. Do your screenings. And if you're due for things like a colonoscopy, make sure you take care of that, because the short-term time that you invest can have some real long-term advantages.
Well, that's for sure. That's for sure. Now, as we say that, we look forward to the yearly blood screening test, which is put on by a couple of the local service clubs. But that had to be postponed, but not because we didn't need it.
That's exactly right. So next weekend, in fact, was supposed to be the Dover New Philly Kiwanis and the New Philly Rotaries Spring Health Check. And that's a low-cost blood screening event here at the hospital. And what we found was that we had to postpone that, and hopefully we'll be able to hold it in April. And that was because there is of all things, a shortage of blood collection tubes, or the vials that are used when the folks draw your blood. There's a supply chain shortage, and everybody hates saying that and hearing that right now, which it is true. And the other thing was that there was such a demand throughout the entire COVID process around the globe. So you factor those together, and there are some short-term supply issues right now.
Is that a glass or a plastic product?
Yes, that's a plastic product, as I understand it. And so now we're in a spot where we're hopeful that we'll be able to receive our normal supply. This won't be an issue in a few weeks. We've been in touch with every person who registered in advance, because you have to register for an event like this. And we're holding their times. We're just hopeful to announce a new date here coming up soon.
And you would like for that to be in April if possible, right?
Yes, our hope is that we'll be able to hold that in April, and it'll just be delayed by a month.
I'm sure all the Rotary and Kiwanis members would like for that to happen too.
Absolutely. Not only is it a low-cost event for participants, and they receive a whole range of readings that are beneficial for their health, but it's a significant fundraiser for both clubs every year.
Yeah, very good. And you guys host that, and we think that. On a personal note, have you regained your hearing from the basketball game?
That, you know what, that was one of the loudest crowds in several years I've been part of. So you're right.
Well, we'll try that again. As I'll see you Wednesday as Garraway travels to Athens. It'll probably be loud there too.
Yes, it normally is, and it's always good to get back to the convo.
Hey, one more thing. If somebody didn't pre-register for the blood screening of the health check and would like to, how do they do that?
Probably the best way right now is that they'll need to talk to us personally here at the hospital, and I would tell them to give me a call here, 330-365-3866, and just ask for Darrin, and we'll take care of them. That
sounds pretty easy then.
Yeah, we try and make it easy.
All right, Darrin. Always easy to talk to you, too. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
You too. We'll talk to you again soon. Darrin Lautenschleger, who is the Director of Community Relations at Cleveland Clinic Union Hospital, joining us this morning here on the B-Team Morning Show.